welcome to Jews in the Media with Dickhead and Doorknob. What's going on, man?
Not too much. How you doing, man?
All right. Yeah, this has been an interesting day.
Interesting day, interesting week, interesting year, interesting.
No, interesting couple of hours with the the Facebook Live.
I didn't mean to skip month. All you
we did a photo shoot on the roof.
We did a professional photo shoot.
Yes.
No.
Professional?
Nope.
Have you been paid to take
no, but
pictures?
somebody did think that we were. I don't know. Do you think she thought that we were like taking pictures of her?
Maybe she just came outside to smoke a cigarette. I have no idea. But
I
there's
don't know.
a hotel across the
us.
street from James's apartment, and while we were making the video and everything, someone came out, and I don't know if they were watching us or
no,
they just came out to smoke.
Okay. First of all, I don't
know
if any of you guys followed the Facebook Live video.
And if you didn't, fuck you.
Exactly. But in the video, we were talking about this girl behind us, and obviously you could see our faces, so that would delineate that the flash was on. So obviously she saw the flash. She saw a camera aimed her direction. Now she did see. It
wasn't a camera. It was a phone.
Well, there was a flash, or a bulb, aimed at her, ostensibly.
In her general direction.
It was kind of aimed directly at her. It was aimed at us.
Look, I looked.
But she was directly behind us.
I looked at the phone. You couldn't. It was this little blob about
But was
an
she,
eighth of an inch high.
She was like right in the middle of the shot, though, right?
She was sitting on your shoulder.
Oh, right. And you were on the left side of me, and she was on my left shoulder. So that's more or less in the middle of the shot. So
yeah, I guess.
If I didn't see people standing in front, between the camera and me, I would assume maybe they were shooting me. But if she had any intelligence, then she would probably know that the flash wasn't doing anything for her. And
I don't think she's
too far away.
I think she just came outside just to check out the balcony of her room, just like we were doing.
It was funny anyway, and I've never actually saw anybody up there, so that was funny.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I want to. I'd like to get a room in that place. Or visit
I don't know
someone
what the
who's got a
rooms are.
room. I'd like to see the inside, because the outside looks really cool. I'd like to see what they did to the inside.
Well, they have that Moroccan styled
Middle Eastern, Mediterranean
stained glass window applied wallpaper, like wallpaper that's like translucent on the windows.
You've seen
this?
Yeah.
So you see it down from the street, on all the windows surrounding the building. On the street level.
I don't know. Maybe I never noticed.
It's because they haven't. I don't think they've put anything in the in those lots yet. I imagine it's going to be restaurants and whatever, laundromat. I don't know. Why? It's a hotel. Who knows?
Could be a
Unless they supply
dog
their
washing station.
That would be cool, but it would smell like wet dog here all the time. And I don't mind it once in a while, but all the time would be a little bit too much.
What would be cool about having a dog wash station across the street?
I like dogs. I don't know. See, dog eats.
Oh, all right. I was like, you don't have a dog, so I'm like, it's not like it would be a convenience for you.
No.
It would just be wet dog running around the street.
Exactly.
And I guess you like that. All right, fair enough.
Well, I
mean, it looks something for everybody.
Wet dog, but I don't mind the smell. But I think it would be too much.
You also have this spa place next to you, and I gotta admit that I like the smell walking past there.
The spa?
Next to the garage thing, there's that. I don't know what the hell.
A yoga center?
Is that what it is?
There's a yoga center that just.
I don't know. It always smells like soap or good smelling stuff when I walk past there.
I remember we used to take our dog to U-Wash Puppy.
I took yoga once, and it did not smell like that.
You took yoga once?
Once.
I'm not cutting this out of the podcast.
That's fine.
This is like there forever.
After I hurt my back when I was doing my physical therapy.
Just say rehab, like physical therapy.
While I was doing my physical therapy with the physical therapist, I also went to took a.
Did you have a yoga mat over your shoulder?
No, it was yoga for jiu-jitsu.
I could just see Steve walking around with a yoga mat over his shoulder.
No, you really couldn't.
No,
because we were doing it in the jiu-jitsu school, so it was mats on the floor, for throwing and rolling. So we didn't really need yoga mats. And it wasn't it wasn't a regular standard yoga class.
I'm just waiting to see the comments section fill up with a difference between a jiu-jitsu mat and a yoga mat, and how much better a yoga mat is. Oh my God, are you serious?
Well, I've never really used a yoga mat, but I've seen how thin they are, and I got to tell you something. If you throw someone with a sotogari and they land on a yoga mat, you're going to do some really serious damage to someone.
A yoga mat to me is just a camping mattress.
Yeah, it's just
a camping mattress.
Really
I don't know what the difference
thin
is.
piece
I don't
of
know why
foam.
it's so special, and
you definitely don't
all
want
of a sudden
get
more
it
expensive now. They were
with,
like $8 back in the day, weren't
real
they?
mats for
Yeah, they were like
arts.
$8 back in the day or something. And now they sell for like $60 or some. I don't know.
Well, sure, because back in the day, you just slid it under your, sleeping bag or whatever, so you didn't have to sleep on the hard dirt on the ground.
But the exact same thing is now $60.
Yeah, but now you're wearing your $200 yoga shorts or whatever and going to a special gym.
I have no problem with the yoga shorts.
You're spending all that money to go into an air-conditioned room so you can sit there and work out and sweat. Although, unless you're doing that Bikram where it's like 100 degrees.
Like,
I
love you, Mom, but if you're listening, but I find it hilarious, and this is just the culture of driving to the gym to go for a walk, and it's not you. I know it's everybody. This is what everybody does. You drive to the gym to walk. Walk to the gym. It's 2 miles away.
Spend $100.
2 miles, 4 miles.
Spend
whatever.
$100 a month or whatever it is for a gym membership.
Well,
so you can drive the mile and a half to your gym, so you can walk on the treadmill for 15, 20 minutes, and then drive home.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, but don't forget your smoothie on the way out.
Smoothie on the way is very important.
You got to have that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. Yoga mats, I don't know. I don't know the difference. But
well, you do know the difference. One of them is really thin.
Between yoga mats and mattresses and camping mattresses?
Oh, it's the same stupid thing.
It's probably the same
piece of foam.
The exact same
it's just
brand
because
made the both.
Because yoga, you're using it for a trendy thing like yoga. It's expensive. You go to the camping store and you can probably still get one for a couple of bucks.
Yep.
Actually, when I used to go camping, I didn't use those really cheap little foam yoga matty things. I used to get like these egg crate foam.
I never used either of them. Just move the rocks out of the way. I never really had a problem with that. Or just lay a couple of shirts out. Just lay on some clothes that is basically shock absorbing to a
well, then aren't you just taking your clothes and just throwing it onto the dirt? I mean, if you really wanted to...
No, I'm in the tent.
If you really wanted to make yourself something more comfortable, you could make yourself like a real little mattress with leaves and some sticks and shit.
I slept in a fucking tent, and I didn't sleep on the dirt. If I slept on the dirt, then I wouldn't have done that. Or if I did sleep on the dirt, I would put the shirts inside of my sleeping bag, and I would sleep on top of them inside of the sleeping bag. That's a different thing.
Pardon me.
Just like that.
I have camped, in a tent with a mattress, without a mattress. I have camped in situations where I had to cut branches and things to make myself some shelter.
I'm a man. I don't need no mattress.
I've camped in campgrounds where they had lean-tos, so you were on a wooden platform with a little awning thing over you.
Awning?
Awning.
New Jersey.
I like to eat Cool Whip under the awning. Cool Whip.
Under the awning.
You got a problem with that?
I have a lot of problems with that.
Yes, you do.
So what do you want to talk about this week, man?
I had a couple things I wanted to talk about. The first one was Hamas and Islamic Jihad and douchebag terrorists. But I forgot what I wanted to say about it because I wanted to go online before and look something up, but somehow, even though we started the show 2 hours late, I didn't have time because the internet was working slow.
Right.
But all right, there was a news thing earlier in 2 days ago, I think it was, that the Israeli military found some tunnels running from Gaza under the border and into Israel. So we uncovered the tunnels on our side of the border, and I'm assuming we threw down some explosives. Maybe, I don't know how they do it, a robot. I don't think anyone actually goes down into the tunnel. I think they just uncover it with a bulldozer. throw down some explosives down into the tunnel, and blow the shit out of it. But I would assume maybe they have to go in with a robot because you got to get those explosives down for far enough. Otherwise, otherwise they can just come back into the tunnel and keep digging from where they were. So you got to get it down.
Remote control car.
Okay, so whatever. So they put something down there. It goes, drives, a little RC. So they gets down to the end of the tunnel. Boom, they blow it up. Well, I guess there was 7 guys. 7 guys, 10 guys, whatever the hell it was, that were still in the tunnel or were in the house above the tunnel, whatever, and they got killed.
No.
I would assume this is what they normally refer to as a work accident. Or is that only when a bomb blows up? I don't know. But these fuckers were in a tunnel. It blew off. Fuck you. That's what you get. And they start screaming, "Oh, you have escalated the war." How the fuck? They're threatening retaliation and everything else. You built a tunnel underneath the border for the purpose of. Well, I mean, there's no other purpose other than to kidnap or kill. Okay, they obviously did it so they can infiltrate Israel. And they didn't do that so they could go get shawarma in Beersheba. The only reason they did that is so they could kidnap or kill soldiers or Israeli civilians.
Right.
Who the fuck what kind of idiot do you have to be to then sit there and start screaming that retaliation? It's like, fuck you. You prepared to attack us. We blew up the tunnel. You were in the tunnel at the time. These people died. So sad. Bye-bye. Fuck you. I don't understand the mentality of these fucking douchebags that they
were the enemies.
They have
we're the enemies to them.
So what? We're the enemy.
Of course, they're gonna believe. They're gonna say that. First of all, they're great at getting people on their side.
If anything, they shouldn't say anything. They'd be like, "Oh, we don't know what you're talking about. Nothing got blown up today. You're fucking lying." Sitting there saying, "Oh, you killed our men. We're going to get revenge." That's just. It doesn't make sense to me.
Dude, their men were on break. What do you want? They weren't hating Israel for their 15-minute break. It's a job for them. They make money. Well, not anymore.
I don't know. If my enemy gave me a big fuck you, I'm not sitting there going like I'm going to retaliate. I would be like fuck you. Nothing happened. I don't know what you're talking about. You didn't kill anybody. I wouldn't want to give them the satisfaction of
yeah, I know what you mean. They're listen. It doesn't matter. What really matters is
it just fucking pissed me off.
You know what really matters is
it's not that they have the audacity or anything else. It just
I understand.
Fucking pissed me off.
You know what?
Like, fuck you. You lost. Kiss my ass.
You know what? The whole point behind this, they're extremely good at getting, and we talked about this before, but just wait a second. They're very good at getting people. Stop. They're very good at getting people on their side. Now, what do I mean by this? I don't mean getting people on Hamas's side. Getting people against Israel. They send out all these viral videos showing a bunch of men in a wrapped in burial shrouds, sitting in some park, some open park, as though these were people that Israel had killed. But then
you're talking about
hang on.
Hollywood.
Hang on. The rest of that footage shows these men giggling under those death shrouds, those dead men that Israel had killed. It shows them giggling.
Yeah, of course, because they're actors. They're not dead.
Exactly. They're incredibly good at getting people, because this is how they show the world that Israel is horrible and Israel's evil, and they kill all of these people, and they are just massacring their entire communities. But this is obviously not happening. But they're showing it anyway. What do we do in response? We do absolutely nothing. We don't even expose these as lies. Bibi doesn't even communicate this to the press, to the media, to the common person. This isn't expressed to anyone. So if it's not expressed to the public here, and it's only found on rare Facebook groups that share this information, if it's only shown there, then nobody else is seeing it. And if nobody else is seeing it, then they're going to continue to believe that Israel is massacring these people. And this is one of my issues, is that we really don't defend ourselves in the social media world, because that's really.
But I really
one
don't
of the
see where this
places where people are
situation is
attacking.
relevant, because Bibi didn't come out and say no, we didn't do anything. I mean, I don't understand. What's the Pallywood here? What is the thing they're making up? What is the part they're making up?
It's how they're wording this.
That is trying to.
It's how
get.
They said. You attacked us. Well, no, we didn't attack you.
Well, no, they didn't say that we actually attacked. That we have escalated.
We have escalated.
War.
Okay, so we didn't retaliate verbally that remark. No, we did not escalate the situation.
No,
you were trying to kill us. We stopped you from being able to kill us. Exactly.
We didn't even dignify
exactly. That's the problem. We don't say
when a child is throwing a tantrum, you don't sit there and justify them with an excuse.
This is not a fucking child.
They are a child.
Okay,
they are an armed child.
How many people right now,
tantrum.
because of what they say and what they believe and what they've explained and expressed to the world, because of what they've said, how many people are on their side and how many people are on our side? You know how many people are anti-Israel, and it's not. And
those videos.
You know how many people are against Israel, and it's not just the anti-Zionists and anti-Semites that have been around forever. There is a new breed of anti-Semites. These peace warriors who these Palestinian
they're called liberal intellectuals.
These terrorists, exactly. These terrorists. You've seen that meme with a girl with the dreads, who's whoever she is, always saying something really brilliant, but just completely ignorant. This is what's happening right now. People are expressing some sort of feeling for the plight of the Palestinians when nobody really explains to them what's actually happening, that they are being impoverished by their own government. Nobody really says this. Nobody expresses this information, and this is a fucking problem, because we're never going to get anybody on our side if we allow. You know what? You're going to believe what you want to believe. That's fine. Just go ahead and believe what you want to believe. No, this is not fucking okay. I don't know if you watched Bill Maher this week. He's really started to let loose. Liberals are too fucking pacifistic. You know, on both sides, people are just too quiet. They don't stand up for themselves. No, yeah, it's okay. You have to have your right to believe what you want to believe. Well, there has to be a limit. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you done? I kind of fell asleep there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Yeah, no, because I mean, I wanted to say some things along the way about what you were saying, but I was being shushed.
I wanted to say things when you wanted to say things.
Yeah, no, it's okay, but I don't think that any of that is really relevant to this situation. I mean, I know, I understand what you're saying.
Do you disagree with what I said at all?
Yeah, and lots of things.
I want to know how.
Okay, well, let me actually talk for a little while.
I just fucking asked you. I asked you a question for you to answer. So go ahead and answer.
You done?
No.
Okay. So here's the thing. I don't think that people are against Israel because Hamas is sitting there saying, oh, they attacked us or they escalated the war.
It's the only thing they ever said, right?
No, because well before they had social media and they had Hollywood, people were hating Israel. Okay, BDS and everything else isn't coming around because Bibi isn't going out and refuting these things and doesn't have a good enough PR machine. Okay, I think the Israeli PR machine is good the way it is. I think the problem is that there's stupid people, okay, that don't understand what's going on.
That is also true. I agree with that.
It doesn't matter if they understood what was going on. If you sat there and explained to them, they would still say no, because here's what they see. They see Israel with a bunch of tanks and airplanes, and we have ships and we have artillery, and they see Hamas. Oh, they're Hamas. They run around with knives and sticks, and what do they have? And they're such poor and they're unarmed. They have nothing.
And how do they know this information?
And they throw rocks because that's all they have. And because that's
where do they
what
know
the
this
fucking
information?
liberal media fucking puts out.
Exactly. Jesus Christ, dude. The liberal media is putting out what Hamas, or what, not necessarily Hamas, but PA, whatever PFLP,
yeah, okay, fine.
Whatever
but
organization
it also goes out
out
in the media. And you also see it. You can go on Fox News and CNN and everything else, and you can see the fucking rockets that they show over, and they report about how Iron Dome goes out and knocks down all these rockets that are coming out of there. So obviously they're fucking talking about rockets and shit. They're not just saying they have stones and things. But these fucking stupid, retarded liberals, that's all they want to focus on. They are the underdog.
It's not just liberals. There's a specific ilk of liberals.
It's these people that sit there and only see the Palestinians as underdog. They see them as the suffering, and they see Israel as the big giant. And that's it. They don't care about the actual facts. They don't care about the facts.
But this information had to come from somewhere.
Hold on. Shut the fuck up. I'm talking now. They don't care about the facts. All they care about is the visual image. Goliath versus David, okay? And they see Israel as Goliath, and they see the Palestinians as David. So they say, yes, we must fight to help these poor, suffering people. No, you don't need to fight to help these suffering people. They're suffering because they're fighting. Every fucking time, every country that has sat there and made peace with Israel has gotten two things. A better economy, and they've gotten any land back that they lost in the war, okay? Egypt, we conquered Sinai, okay? Or I don't know if we had all of Sinai or just a big chunk of Sinai.
We had
all of it.
We had all of it.
So, okay, then, we made the peace
Suez,
accords in 77, 76 with Egypt, I think. I remember watching it in kindergarten, and I remember them signing the accord and everything, and that's it. And what happened? I think within a couple of weeks, months, whatever, bam, the settlements in Sinai were gone. All Jews were removed. It was Juden-free, and and there you go.
It's pronounced Juden.
Now, so I mean, if these people would fucking actually just look at what's happened in the past, okay, to areas that have actually given peace to Israel. Look at Jordan. Okay, we didn't have any Jordanian land, okay, but in 95, 96, I think, maybe even 97, we signed a peace accord with Jordan,
right?
Okay, and what happened? There's tourism. Where there's tourism, there's a rise in the economy. It helped both countries. Okay, it was good for them. It was good for us. Okay, the Palestinians, they just want to sit here and fight. That's all they know. That's it.
Well, it's what they're taught.
And the reason why they continue to fight is because they're backed up by these stupid idiots. Now, I don't think that these people are stupid idiots because that's all they see in the news.
They're not backed up by them.
I think these people are stupid idiots because all they see is Israel big and strong, and they think the Palestinians small and weak. So they see like someone kicking a puppy, and therefore they have to run out and defend the puppy. But that's not the situation here.
They're not being backed up. They're being empowered by them. They're being empowered by them. It's a mutual empowerment. They're just giving each other more and more and more power.
I do not think that any amount of media coverage, okay, would change.
You work in
hold on. Let me finish
this world.
I do not think that any amount of media coverage would sway these people to change their opinion of Israel. I think a big heavy blast of pro-Jewish media. Hold on. I think a big blast of pro-Jewish media in the news would do is make these people say, oh, fucking Zionist-controlled media. That's all that is. Jews in the fucking media.
You've seen
Jews in the media. No, but and that's why, wink, wink. So, and that's exactly what would happen. They would just say, oh, it's the fucking Jews in the media. They're just trying to fucking, they're just trying to change they're just trying to do some PR to change their opinion. It's no more. They're no better than the rapist who then apologizes and goes to sex rehab and then is back running their movie company in like 6 months or
no, it was a week.
Whatever.
It was a week of rehab.
Was just
But no,
I do not think that any amount of media would change their mind. I think the people that are actually smart and actually know how to think for themselves can realize that this is bullshit. Okay,
I really can't believe you're saying this. I really can't believe you're saying this.
That I'm saying what?
You post a picture of some child. It doesn't fucking matter where they are from in a desperate situation. It could be your fucking kid after he's played after they played in the sand pit and they're all dirty. You take a picture of them and then you put some inspirational music behind it, and you put this wording: this child had her house destroyed by Israel what are you gonna do?
Don't
you know about any of these videos, any of these types of viral videos?
And then
these
what
are put
happens
out
when
by them.
then what happens when they're found out to be fake? What happens?
The people-
Nobody wants to cover it. Nobody covers it.
The ones who find
No
out
matter
that
how many.
Wait,
you know where it gets put out? It gets put in the Jewish media.
No,
it gets put out in like Jerusalem Post and Haaretz.
Wait. The people who find out that these videos are fake, they share it with their friends and their like-minded people, and the people who actually watch these and who actually gain some sort of feelings from them. Well, they're not following those Facebook groups. They're not following those Twitter pages. They're not following any of those channels or any of those stations or any of those media outlets that are saying any of this information. So they never know that it's fake. They never know that it was falsified. So they're going to continue to believe. And you know this. Come on, man. You know this.
And you
They're
think
never
it's because
see
we
any
don't
other
put
way.
it out. And you think that the Jews, you think that Israel needs to do more in the media to put this stuff out. But
Absolutely.
Okay.
I
now
think
let me
Israel
ask you a
needs
question.
to fight
now,
it.
Now, let me
There is one
give you
Facebook channel that does this.
Let me give you a not so necessarily hypothetical question situation. A celebrity is accused of rape. Let's say a basketball player is accused of rape. Okay. Now, what happens?
How good is he on the
Big name.
the court?
Big name. No, he's a big name.
It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter how good he is, how talented he is. It doesn't matter. This is one of my big problems with the American legal system.
No,
but
go
ahead.
You're going in the wrong direction.
No,
you're going in the
just-
wrong direction.
just
No,
a
because
side-
I'm trying to make
just
a
a
point here, and
sidestep.
you're going in the wrong direction.
No, I know,
Okay?
I know.
What the first thing that happens? Someone makes this accusation. All of a sudden, it's all over the news. It's everywhere. Okay, public opinion is what tries this case. He is now guilty because he was accused
Whether it
of it. It
happened
was
or
in the
not.
news.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Then what happens when 6-8 months later, whatever, it's proven to be a complete lie. She admits it's a lie. It's like in the back of the news on the paper. It's a if it gets covered in TV or on the mainstream news, it's like a 3-second thing. Nobody covers it, and that's no different. When the lie comes out,
of Black Mirror.
when the lie comes out, oh look, here's a bunch of dead babies. Israel did this. It's sensational. Okay, this is something big. The people, it's juicy.
Yellow
it gets
journalism.
opinions. It gets clicks. So they fucking throw this in their papers. They throw this on
Right.
their websites. Okay, and then having to retract that is false when they find out that
Nobody's
this is
even
actually
gonna know.
from the Iran-Iraq war, and this picture is 20 years, 30 years old or whatever. Okay, and it's like, they put it somewhere in fine print. This was proven, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, and that's it.
The media,
and no one ever hears about it.
the media
But
doesn't
it's no
care
different.
because
It's
they
no
got their
different.
ratings
Just-
already.
It happens to Israel. It happens to celebrity. It happens to everybody. It's not interesting to have to sit there and say, "Oh, we were wrong." Okay, that doesn't get your newspaper ratings. That doesn't get you readers. That doesn't
Exactly.
get you clicks.
That's the problem. It's
No
finding
matter
how to do this
hard
properly.
Israel sat there and made a media push, sitting there and
No,
proving someone
there's a
wrong
way. There's a
isn't
way.
interesting. It's not news.
There's a way
It's
they
not
could do it.
quote unquote news. It's the truth, but the news doesn't give a fuck about the truth. They care about ratings. They need to sell newspapers. They need
Right, of course.
to make the sponsors happy. They need to sell commercial airtime.
But is it
Those are the people
is
they
it
need
not
to-
newsworthy? Is it not something they could sell online saying
No, nobody cares about
hang
that.
on. Saying
I'm
that
holding on.
saying that this massive you can market fucking anything. You can market anything if you have the right voice, if you can say it properly, then you can market literally anything. You just need to say it the right way. The wrong way is that's not going to fucking do anything, and we know that.
Sure, you can be like Mel Gibson. You can go out and hire a
There's
big
a fucking
PR
gray
team,
area,
and
dude.
you can go out and make a movie and everything else, and now you're making people money.
There's
so
a gray
you're-
area. There's
so
a
you're back.
line
You're all
fucking
clear
between
now.
there. Don't be stupid. Come on.
I'm not being stupid.
There's a line between there. No, you're being black and white, and it's not black and white. It's never black and white. There's always a gray area, and there's a very big gray area here. You do not have to be Mel Gibson to combat the terrorists.
No, I'm saying what he did was take a big PR push and everything else, like you were talking about. He fought his bad coverage and everything else, and his bad image in the press. You're saying that's what Israel should do. I was just saying what you were saying. That's what he did.
Okay, I don't know why you're using Mel Gibson as an example. It's kind of an unnecessary. shot. I don't know. No, it's
you don't
it's,
like that I used an anti-Semite as a an example.
No, that's an irrelevant example. That's you're trying to take credit from my point by using Mel Gibson. That's kind of a cheap shot.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that this is what he did. But I'm saying that if the Jews did the same thing, it wouldn't work. People would just discount it as, oh, this is just the media. And if we made, if we had a PR firm trying to push us, they would just say, look, it's just the Jews. They control the media. That's why we're hearing all this pro-Jew shit now. And that's exactly what it would be. It would just be the Jews control the media. So of course the media is going to be pro-media.
So you're saying don't even bother.
I'm saying we shouldn't stoop to that level and sit there and try and counter.
What's the other choice? What's the other choice? Just let it go. Let them continue to.
No, we have to put out the truth, and the smart people get it, and just the people that are just going to hate Israel are just going to continue to hate Israel. You're not going to change their mind with this stuff. You're certainly not going to change their mind with anything you're going to put on Facebook or social media or anything like that.
Their perspective and their thoughts are based on lies. So if you put that information to the media outlets that they are following,
the media
then
outlets
they will start
are
to
not
hear it.
going to sit there and look. Look, we all know this. They don't.
That's the problem. It's a matter of finding a way to market to them.
The news does not give us the true news. They give us what they think is sensational enough that it's going to garner ratings.
Yeah, they
don't care about the retraction.
Okay, so don't even do anything. Don't even do anything. Don't even bother. Don't even worry about it. Nothing.
We do put it out there. We do. It gets out there.
We can do more. Can we not do more?
When I find out that these pictures are from Syria or from obviously I found out about it from someplace. So it's getting out there. Unfortunately,
this is the information that you want.
The media is not picking it up.
This is the information that you want to hear.
It up, and if they don't pick it up, then they're not going to pick it up. If they don't pick it up now, what makes you think they're going to pick it up if we try?
You know that Facebook gives you what you want to hear. Twitter gives you what you want to hear. It suggests pages and Twitter accounts that match your interests. If it didn't match your interests, you would stop following it. You would stop using Facebook. You wouldn't agree with any of the information. It's not what you want to hear. You don't care about any of it, and you would stop using it. So it's in their best interest to market to you what you want to hear. We need to find a way to market to these people what they don't want to hear, but what they need to hear.
I think Israel does do a good deal and a good job of marketing.
No, we
itself.
do not.
When I hear,
and you're going to find that they really don't.
When I hear of things like in London, they're having a Tel Aviv day and they bring sand in and everything and party up like they were on the Tel Aviv beach.
When you hear,
who do you think did? Do you think the mayor of London said, "Hey, we're going to have a Tel Aviv," or do you think someone came from Israel and said, "Hey, let's work on this thing and have this thing. It'll be good and we can promote it and blah blah blah." Somehow it's beneficial to you. I don't, because if it wasn't beneficial to the politicians somehow who gave permission for this thing, obviously they wouldn't do it. So that's what's going on. I think there is a good deal of marketing going on because I hear about these things.
There's a good deal, not good enough. Obviously, not good enough.
Unfortunately, we don't get enough out there, like of how nice, how safe the country actually is. Because again, all they hear about is when something bad happens.
I remember my friends.
That's why tourism is down.
when I was making Aliyah, when I announced to my friends that I was making Aliyah, a lot of my friends came up to me. They said, "Be careful. Be careful. We'll really miss as though I was going into a fucking war zone." Jesus Christ, guys, come on!
Although it was certainly much safer.
Stop fucking listening to the news.
Although it was much safer when you made Aliyah. There really was a time when it was much dangerous, especially in the Tel Aviv. When me and you were living in downtown Tel Aviv, not far from our apartment.
Oh,
there was a suicide
that was just a
bombing.
bad area, huh?
There was you don't remember the suicide bombing not far from our apartment? And we decided to go be jerk off tour. I almost said terrorists. We decided to be jerk off tourists and go down there. And
we did. I remember taking the pictures down at the shawarma place.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention that we took pictures, but okay.
Well, no, it was something that I wanted. I don't even think I have those pictures.
No, I definitely don't have them anymore.
No, it was something that I wanted ingrained. I wanted to remember that because that was.
No, I'm never.
Definitely terrifying.
I don't know where those pictures are, but I'm certainly never going to forget what we saw that day.
No, that was. I remember walking down the street. You remember there was the building next door to us. No, you weren't there. When I was living with another friend, there was a scaffolding next to our apartment, next to our building, and one of the workers had fallen from like the 3rd floor and like popped his skull open on the pavement. And I had a balcony overlooking there, so I saw after the ambulance had taken him away, right after.
I've cracked my skull open and I'm bleeding.
No, the guy was dead.
Oh, okay. So
no, the guy
option,
fucking died.
Which was going to be, hey, look, I can see that guy's brain on the floor.
Yeah, I saw his brain on the floor. There was a piece of his brain on the pavement, not on the pavement, on the sidewalk. There was a piece of brain sitting there for a few days.
Were you even a little bit tempted to just go, I crush your head. I crush your head.
I did that without thinking the first time. Just looking over from my balcony, just looking at it. I crush your brain. I squish your brain. Hey, you crush, I squish. Anyway. But but it doesn't really matter where you live. I mean, obviously there's going to be an attack of some sort somewhere, whether it's a robbery, whether it's whatever it is. There are terrorist attacks, but we don't have a victimized attitude about it. Like when it happens, which is not necessarily a good thing, but when there is an attack, the country does not just mope for months. They play sad music on the radio and things like that. They do. It is all over the news. A couple of days later, like, come on, we gotta live. We gotta move on.
Shops are back open.
This is one thing I really like about Israel.
Again, and
it's a fucked up thing to really like about the country, but the country really comes together. It works as a team when it really needs to. When it doesn't, it's a fucking zoo.
Well, you know what? This kind of leads into the other subject, into the next topic that I wanted to talk about, which was the Israeli mentality. Okay, I posted a little post this week in a Facebook group called Keep Olim in Israel, and I asked people what was the hardest thing about living in Israel.
Olim for anybody who doesn't know, Olim are people who have made Aliyah, who have moved to Israel.
So okay. So I asked basically,
keep them Olim in Israel.
You know. I made a post to new immigrants to Israel, or not new immigrants, but people who have immigrated to Israel, and I asked them what was the hardest thing about living here. And I got finding a job and being away from family, and I miss pork pork roll sandwiches, stupid. It was a bunch of not stupid stuff, but
Kansas City guys, I've never seen a pork roll sandwich in my life. I have no idea what he's talking about.
But there was this one guy, and if I could find the post right now, I'd read it to you. But what he was, I gotta quick, vamp for a minute so I can try and find it. Because it was holy shit! It was.
Give a like if you know what that's from.
Up. It was just
yes.
Jews in the media. Keep on.
Jews in the media.
No, come on. I remember the person's name. It's got to be here.
What do you guys think of that song? I like that song that we found, the intro song. I didn't. I wanted to try to find something random.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off there. All right. Here's what I want to say. You talk about the Israeli mentality, and now I think Israelis are very harsh. Okay, they're very in your face. They're quick to
they have
anger.
No filter.
There's no personal space. They'll there's an inch. They'll take that inch.
Yeah.
Okay, but I also think that this is from growing up in a country that's surrounded by people that we want to see you dead or destroyed. Okay,
I don't know if it's so much based on that, but I think it's just a warmer culture where people are
I think
more honest.
To grow up in this society and everything else, where most of these kids, people in their 20s and 30s have lived through at least one or two wars. If you're a little bit older, you've lived through a couple of more. Okay, they've had to run to shelters. Most of them have gone through the army, and they've had to, they've been shot at, and they've, possibly had to be in situations where they've shot and taken lives. That's going to cause a person to be less of a pussy than the average Westerner.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Okay?
But
This is going to build a hardened, a more hardcore, more hardened society.
Sure, but I
so
think
I want to
one
read. I just want to read you what this person,
Okay.
a new immigrant or someone who was thinking about coming back to Israel. I guess they had moved to Israel and then left, and this is what they said. Blah blah blah. Israel is more like the Arabs than the Europeans. I agree. Israel's problem is that it has a Middle Eastern mentality and predominantly Middle Eastern culture. That is its undoing. We Westerners need to change this to something more civilized. Now, I don't know about you, but I read that as pussified. Okay? They basically want to
one of
turn Israel.
My favorite words from George Carlin, pussification.
Yes, that's why we have used it.
Yeah.
We have been using it recently. And I, that's what that. First of all, holy shit! Who the fuck? What kind of unfortunately, the best word I can think of is white privilege, or what kind of overprivileged mentality is it that I'm going to come to another country and civilize these savages? Fuck you. Okay,
America.
If you feel that, no, fuck you.
No. I want to say. I have to say this.
I don't understand any person that wants to come to another country.
Right.
And says, I want to move. I was born in the United States. I'm going to move to Israel so I can go there and make them more like it was in the United States. Fuck, if you want to live in the United States and you want it to be more like the United States, live in the United States. It's not fucking hard, especially if you're an American. You can go live in the United States.
In America, you have, what is it, 350 million people? 380 something million people?
Sure.
There's 7 billion fucking people in the world. You're not alone. You're not right. There's a billion Chinese. They're more right about how to live than you are.
I keep saying he, but then I realized it was a she later on. So she's just, she's not necessarily just talking about Americans. She's saying Westerners. Okay, so
right,
white English speaking Europeans.
But
should come in and civilize these savages.
But native Israelis,
I picture her with a big bag full of blankets, to hand out to the locals.
But the Israelis, whether you like it or not, you cannot deny that the Israelis that came here from Morocco, from Iran, from Iraq, from Syria, from Lebanon, from Jordan, from all of those countries, the diaspora, the Sephardic diaspora that came back to Israel, are Arabs. Arab is not a religion.
Yeah.
They are Israeli Jewish Arabs. It's a culture. It's the way they are, in your face, loud. You don't have time to waste.
Wait. I want to go to
I like it. I think it's kind of cool.
Israel's problem is that it has a Middle Eastern mentality. Hey, fucking cunt face.
It is
Israel is in the Middle East.
It is in the middle of the Middle East.
Of course it has a Middle Eastern mentality. It's in the Middle East.
It is not in the Middle East. It is the middle of the Middle East. Like, you cannot get more middle than Israel of the Middle East.
Now, people immediately jumped on her, and she tried to justify what she was saying. But I really
Does she have a Confederate flag behind her? And
I don't necessarily think that she was. Now, some people were going on about her being racist. I don't think she was being racist. I think she was saying that we need to, change this hardened mentality, and we need to be more soft, like the United States, and we need to be more friendly.
You know what?
We need to be bigger pussies.
When I go back to the States,
that the next time that we get attacked, we fucking nobody wants to. Oh no, I can't. I got a gun. It's so scary.
I have to be honest. I have to be honest. When I go back to the States and I go into a store, I don't want this asshole or this idiot coming up to me. Oh, hi. How are you? So good to see you. Fuck off.
You don't like the greeter?
No, I don't like that shit. Like, because it's so fake and it's so obvious that it's fake. Why are you faking this? What do you get out of this?
When I was last in the United States, what I did like is that when I was sitting there, and as the girl in the supermarket, she was all being nice to me, and she was being polite, and she was, and she was sitting there and she was bagging my groceries, and Shelly's like, "What's?" My daughter was like, "What's going on? Why is this woman putting our food in a bag?" And she's like, "No, it's for us. She's doing it for us."
Politeness is one thing. Politeness is fine. I'm down with that.
I love. And she wasn't on her cell phone. She wasn't sitting there talking to the other cash register.
Until recently,
the other cashier.
Until recently, you go into a restaurant in Israel and they're smoking cigarettes behind the while they're cooking your food. Maybe some places still do. It was not a big deal. Nobody gave a shit. But I don't know. I'm really irritated by that fake niceness. Be polite. I really dig that. I like when you're polite. Many Israelis are not polite, but that's one thing that I do like about Israelis is that, okay, this guy's an asshole. I don't have to deal with him. And you know that from the get-go. You know,
there's no hiding it.
You know, exactly. You know that you don't have to waste your life with this person. You don't have to wait. You know, this is not somebody that's going to be all nice to you and friendly and, you know, he's going to be your best friend and turns out to, you know, and ends up, you know, screwing you over, whatever it is. You know who people are from very early on. And I like that in Israel. I like that you can read people very easily.
So I wanted to try and add something that could be helpful to people thinking about immigrating to Israel or people that have. And the first thing I'd like to tell you is that if you spend all your time focusing on the fact that Israeli customer service is bad and that you're going to get wrong information from Misrad HaKlita and Misrad HaPanim, you're going to go to the different
offices,
the different government offices and Bituach Leumi, the national insurance and stuff, and you're going to get bad information, and they're going to send you around from this place and that place, and forms are going to get lost.
Tons of bureaucracies.
It's going to happen. But here's the deal. Do a little reading on the history of Jews, okay, and the history of Israel. We have always suffered for this land, okay? Now, yes, we have high tech and everything, and things are much better, and we're not in bondage, and, it's a much better life than it was thousands of years ago. But don't expect to come to this country and not do some type of suffering for it. Okay? If all you do is bang your head against the wall about all the annoying things, okay, and all the differences between here and the United States, all you're going to do is give yourself brain damage. And this is going to lead to you going back home, or going back to where you came from the United States, because Israel is home. So if this is all the stuff you focus on, I understand people got problems with jobs, and it's hard to find a good apartment for a reasonable price. And there's lots of problems. There's lots of problems with this, with this country. But to sit there and say that the mentality of the people is uncivilized, and that we Westerners need to come together to fix them, that's just fucked up. Okay?
Yeah.
And if that's the attitude you're coming over here with, you are going to fail.
Yeah, just keep it at home. No, that mentality, but that goes for people who are just traveling as well, who go to a place, and it still gets me when you sit down at a restaurant and you hear some guys sitting behind you, and maybe not at like Mike's Place or one of the big restaurants, but some more traditional restaurant, and they're throwing street slang at this Israeli waiter. Do you think they understand? Like, you do need to adjust yourself to your surroundings to some degree. It's one way we've really gone against evolution, in that we really don't accustom ourselves to our surroundings anymore.
Americans
you need to act like me. You need to understand me.
America is such a large country that most Americans don't leave the United States. Okay? So for most Americans, it's like, wow, I went over to Georgia and they didn't have a path mark. Down there they have, I don't know what, they have Albertsons. Or I think Albertsons is in
Piggly Wiggly?
They had an Albertsons. Oh, my God, it was so weird. Much less actually leaving the United States, leaving the continent and going somewhere else and seeing, what another country, or seeing Europe or the Middle East or something like that. Most Americans never do that.
I don't know if I ever mentioned this on the air, but I was back in Kansas City. Well, I was in St. Louis. And I was driving back to Kansas City. I'm from Kansas City. So I'm driving back, and and I stop in Columbia halfway across. And it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive across the state. So I'm at like the 2.5 hour drive, 2.5 hour mark. And I asked somebody, at a gas station right on Highway 70, like an interstate, one of the longest highways in the country. I asked this woman, 40 years old, something, do you know about how long it's going to take for me to get to Kansas City from here? She says, now Kansas City has a metropolitan area as a population of something like 1.5, 2 million, something like that, and St. Louis is 3 million. Columbia, Missouri has a population of something like 50,000. I think that's during the school year. Regularly, it's 20,000 something. So I asked her how long it's going to take to get to Kansas City. 2 hours, something away. I don't know. I never left the city. Now, she's 40 fucking years old, lives in a city of 20,000 people, never left the city in 40 years. What is this person? I'll guarantee you they have the American flag. America's the greatest country in the world. They're thinking, the most amazing things about their own. They've never fucking seen anything else ever in their entire life. How do you have the right to say anything about yourself? America is really the only country that says it's number one. No other country really does that. And again, I love America. It's my home. It's where I came from. To say you're number one is a little bit arrogant, I have to say.
I think a lot of people feel that their country is the best and probably take pride.
Yeah,
in say that.
but to turn on the New Year's
and make
the
America
New Year's
great
broadcast.
again. It doesn't say make America the greatest again.
But to turn on the Times Square New Year's broadcast and then open with "Coming to you live from the greatest city in the world." Well,
I happen to agree with that.
Tokyo.
No,
you've never been there though.
That's true.
Don't want to go. Point made.
No, but I've been to lots of other cities.
I don't like New York. I like the West Coast more. It's just my personality. I like the West Coast more.
Well, you're allowed to be wrong.
No, I am not.
You're allowed to be wrong.
I'm not allowed to be wrong. But
All
this is an opinion because
I
don't
have to beat you for being wrong.
I don't like New York. I like.
Stop being wrong.
I don't hate New York by any means. But no, my favorite city is actually probably Chicago. I really like Chicago.
I have partied on the left coast. I have partied on the right coast. I have partied on the top. I have partied on the bottom. I have partied on.
But you're on
three different
just outside New York.
I have partied on 3 different continents in cities on all of those 3 continents. And I have not seen a city that is anything like.
You used an example when we had this conversation once before.
Define best.
Right, exactly. This is actually a point that I wanted to bring up because you mentioned to me back when we were living together. I won't forget this.
Separate rooms.
Yes. Just one bedroom but separate rooms. You mentioned that. I mean, where else in the world can you go and get a hammer at 3 a.m? Do you remember that? Do you remember saying that to me? Where else in the world can you get a hammer at 3 a.m?
And a bagel.
Fuck you. If you need a hammer at 3 a.m, I'm going to need a hammer at 3 a.m, too. Because I'm going to beat you in the head with it.
It's not necessarily just a hammer. Maybe you need a screw.
No, but that was your example. And
maybe you need a screw, a new shirt, and a bagel with cream cheese.
I didn't think about it at that time when you said that, but that was the worst example ever. You need a hammer at 3 a.m? No. I can wait to get my shit the next fucking day. Come on.
You ever been up at 3 o'clock in the morning and want something to eat and there was nothing around that was open?
We have places open 24 hours in Kansas City.
Okay.
There are places open 24 hours here in Israel, in Tel Aviv.
But I mean, give me an example of what would be open at 3 o'clock in the morning in your, in a decent amount,
Moses, Domino's, Philadelphia.
Domino's is open at 3 in the morning?
Yeah.
Probably they close at 2.
No, they're open for forever here. There's a few places that are open.
Here in Tel Aviv?
Yeah. This is a party city.
Okay, well,
Those
I
are
wasn't
party
talking
cities.
about
So there's
Kansas.
places that
I
are
was
open
talking
until
about
5 in the
Kansas.
morning.
I was talking Kansas.
I haven't been.
Well, when
up
you
late.
were,
It was
when
like
you were
Taco Bell.
hanging out
It was
and
like
going,
Taco Bell. All the fast food joints were open. Open late. There's probably another like down in the party district.
you could go get a fresh bagel or a nice deli sandwich. I mean, I'm not
Maybe,
talking
I don't
fast
know.
food.
Maybe
I'm not talking
I don't
fast
know.
food.
I don't know. I haven't been out late in Kansas City in a very long time. But there's Denny's.
You know, no, as
definitely
I said,
Denny's.
good food.
Oh yeah, no, there's no Denny's then.
I mean, you can go all the best restaurants. You know, you go to like you know, you look. You want to go find a Michelin star restaurant. They're all going to be open at 3, 4 in the morning. Well, maybe not 4, but 2, 3 in the morning. They're all still going to be open, or many of them are still going to be open at least, because that's the time I get to go to some of these restaurants. I'm not going to dinner at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night.
But the lifestyle is also different.
It's very different
in those cities.
But I mean, like,
and that's not the lifestyle that I really had.
No, here was
I
the
live in
example.
Tel Aviv, but I
Here
don't
was the
party
example that I gave. Okay, I've been to hanging out in a bar in New York City, and you come out, it's like 3, 4 in the morning, and again, you got a choice. You want pizza? Do you want hot dogs? Do you want hamburgers? Do you want bagels? Everything's open. You can get fucking kalkalash, if you want.
What?
It comes on a stick. Not on a stick, in a bowl.
Okay.
It's from The Simpsons.
Okay.
Homer goes to New York.
I don't need those things though.
No, but when you're after a night of drinking or partying, you want something to eat. I don't want to have to go to McDonald's or get Pizza Hut or go to fucking 7-Eleven and get a fucking frozen.
Well, that's what I was saying.
burrito.
Maybe there are some of these places down in the party area.
I want to be able. I want to have a fucking selection of food.
I remember.
Okay, but hold on. But you're not letting me finish. But then I lived in San Francisco. Okay, and. First of all, the bars closed at like, I don't remember if it was 12 or 1, but it was ridiculously early, okay? At least an hour earlier than New Jersey. And we get out, and it's like, okay, oh, look, here's a hot dog. Oh, it's closed. Oh, wait, here's a burger. Oh, everything was fucking closed.
Oh, yeah.
There was literally no fucking place. Now, we were walking around, and there was, clubs and bars in this area, and I did not find one place, not even a fucking 7-Eleven, where we could get food. We had to go home, like, I didn't actually live inside of San Francisco. I lived right outside. And we actually had to go home and, like, I don't know, I'm sure I probably did wind up with, like, 7-Eleven frozen burrito and, wind up with the shits the next day.
Oh, so good.
Don't even have a fucking White Castle.
But
no, it was horrible. So, you know what? When I'm done partying, I want everything open. I want everything to be open.
You're privileged. That's called privilege.
Well, this is why I think New York City is the best city, because we had access to everything.
Everything may be open in Tokyo.
Yeah, I don't care. It's Tokyo.
Like more insane things.
I had an opportunity to move to Japan, and I turned it down. I had no interest, and I still have zero interest. Oh, maybe 0.02% interest.
Would you ever want to travel there? You wouldn't even want to travel there. That's a decision that you're not even sure of.
Like I
do. I definitely do. I want to see all the world.
Well, like here's the thing. I not that I would necessarily be against going there for but there's so many places I'd rather see first. So
I'm
list,
not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm asking if you would ever want to go there.
I wouldn't be against it.
I'm not saying is it the place that you want to go the most. I didn't say that. You're taking it that way. That's not at all what I said.
It's definitely on the lower end of my list. Like if work were to tell me I had to go to Tokyo or somewhere in Japan for
money's no option. Money's no option. You have the opportunity to travel somewhere.
If my work would, but I wouldn't. That's it. If I had the money to go travel, there's a million other places I would go.
I give you a ticket to Tokyo. I give you a ticket to Tokyo. You want
to? I'd go.
Okay.
I'm not going to not go if someone gives me a gift paying for it, sure.
Okay.
I'm not going to spend my own money because I really have no interest. I would go and I would see shit. I'm sure I'd have, see cool shit.
That was one question. I was just one question.
Yeah. I didn't say that, like, I was against it, but I have, like, no real interest in going. It's like you want to go to Japan? If you're paying for it, I guess I'd go with you, and
I think it'd be
I'd go by
fascinating
myself.
to see.
If I had to go for work, I'd go and I'd have some fun. I'd get some sushi, I guess.
It would just be fascinating to see because it's such a completely different. It's just such a completely different way of living.
Underwear?
It's just so different. It's in so many ways. There was this site that changed their name from What the Fuck Japan Seriously, for obvious reasons.
What did they change it to?
Flipside Japan, which is
I like the first
really,
name better.
really quite fitting because it's really flipping everything over. Like some of the culture is just so different from American in so many different ways. And it's kind of fascinating. I'd like to see that,
Did you know?
up front myself.
Here's a really weird fact that I just recently heard on a different podcast. Did you know that incest is legal in Japan? And on that fact, I would just like to point out that the show is over. So we hope you listen to the whole thing, or eventually listen to the whole thing in little increments.
See what happens.
Thanks a lot. This is Jews in the Media, and yeah.
We are Jews, and we are in the media.
Yeah. See, we are.
Well, we're not making money from this, so are we really in the media?
Yeah, we're in the media. We're broadcasting on a medium, so yeah.
Cool.
It doesn't say like we have to be getting rich off of it.
I guess that's.
But we are Jews, so technically we should be getting rich, but we're not.
Obviously.
So, all right. Fuck off. See you later.
Peace.